My name is Geir Oddsson, and I'm a senior advisor at the Nordic Council of Ministers Secretariat in Copenhagen. And I am responsible for the policy area of fisheries and aquaculture. But more importantly, in this venue, I'm also responsible for the bioeconomy as a policy area in Nordic cooperation and in the Baltic Sea strategy of the European Union. So some of the things that we are going to be talking about here have an overlap also with what the European Union is doing. And I think it demonstrates what we've heard several times today, that there is a demand from outside for Nordic solutions within the bioeconomy. And that demand, we will also see from the presentations here today, is also internal from the countries and from the regions and locally, from the local communities. I picked up on one thing that was said here today, and I hope you also remember it, but I'll remind you. Annika Rosing, when she was talking about the Green Growth Initiative, she said at least 10% of the Nordic economies are bioeconomies. I recently saw a tweet from Eero Mikkola, who's one of the speakers here, about the Finnish bioeconomy and the economic importance of the Finnish bioeconomy for Finland, and it was considerably more than 10%. And if you look at some of the outer lying regions and in the Nordic countries, the bioeconomy is the economy. There is pretty much nothing else. 97% of export earnings in the Faroe Islands is the bioeconomy. So we have the economic incentive to work on the bioeconomy as a policy area and to increase the value in every sense of the term, the benefit, I should say, in every sense of the term, not only the economic benefit, but also the social and environmental benefit. We've heard a little bit about the Nordic region being a leader within green growth and the bioeconomy. I want to challenge you and ask you if that is true. Is the Nordic region really a leader within the bioeconomy? I would contend that the Nordic region was actually a little bit late to the table. We heard from Germany and from the Netherlands, sorry, that they've been working on the bioeconomy for a very long time. But what does that mean for the Nordic region and for the Nordic countries? I think it means, I think we can use it as a positive incentive for the development of our bioeconomies. We can steer away from some of the pitfalls and thresholds that already have been addressed in other countries. And we can focus on other things, on especially things like value throughout the value chain, which we will most certainly hear more about. In our session today, we will be focusing on the national level and the regional and local level. And I think it's important for us to think throughout the session about what are the commonalities between these different cases, the different countries, the different areas that we are looking at. And I think there is definitely, I believe, I'm convinced that there is a Nordic added value in the bioeconomy. Otherwise, we wouldn't be investing so much in the bioeconomy in the Nordic Council of Ministers and in Nordic cooperation. Well, I will leave it at that for now. And I am personally looking very much forward to seeing the national and regional examples that we will be hearing for inspiration and for example. So with that, I welcome you and thank you very much for coming.